Wednesday, October 4th. It is the Plant-Based Morning Show. It's the midweek show. I wish the working week was 3 days. The way the Plant-Based Morning Show is 3 days feels like such a simple week to get through because you get excited after a nice long weekend. Then you got a middle day, a little bit tough, a little bit of a grind, and then you got Thursday, and you're done. So anyway, we're a little late today. Had some problems with dogs, and my son had a school phone call and all kinds of stuff, so it made me be late. But anyway, here I am, Doug. I'm going to add you in on Instagram here, and we'll get going. We have some fun stuff today, including some multimedia, which is always a good show when we have media to share. All right, Instagram has worked. There we go.
Matt,
Doug,
you know you're the boss, right? You could make our work week a 3-day work week.
Could do that. That wouldn't be very good.
No, maybe not the best business move, but good for team happiness, I would imagine.
Yeah. Right. I think it would be good for that. All right. Let's see. Hello to Leslie Knight, who's here, despite our late start. Well, we're really late today, 8 minutes late. Leslie's on
mile 11 of 13.
Awesome. Well, this show is probably a welcome distraction then at that point of a run. So glad we can be that for you. Carmen Petty, good morning. Happy hump day. Like the attitude. I used to be against the hump day attitude. Remember that? I used to not like the idea of working for the weekend. Thought we should embrace every day, but no.
now you're just calling for a 3-day weekend.
3-day weekend, yeah.
Or a 3-day week.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so let's see. What kind of fun stuff do we have going on? I'm going to the Charlotte FC game tonight. That's not fun. Actually why I wore the shirt today, but
who are they playing?
They're playing Toronto FC, which is the big reason I wanted to go because Toronto FC has two Italian players who have moved to the U.S., including Lorenzo Insigne. We saw them last year, and they were just really fun to watch. So that will be a good time.
Did you see how much the Miami season tickets increased this year?
No.
For next year, it went from like the guy who started making a fuss about it, but then there's all kinds of press about it. Paid for 2 seats, paid like $3,800 or something like that this year, and next year it's almost $30,000 for the same seats.
Oh my gosh,
isn't that wild?
30,000? That's crazy. Yeah, that's I had no idea they could even get that high for soccer.
Yeah, I mean, just unbelievable. Yeah.
Wow. And the guy's upset?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, that prices out pretty much everybody, right? Like,
yeah, but you can downgrade your seat and then still get to see Messi play every week. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good thing. I don't know. All right. Well, we got some other stuff about corporate greed. Not that that's corporate greed, because that's just a business move, and it's probably a good one for U.S. soccer and everybody. But anyway, we do have one of those. That's what our multimedia is. It's a Starbucks spoof kind of commercial. Other stuff, Doug. Anything else going on? I'm not sure. I don't have too much really that happened since our last show that was noteworthy.
No, I had a really good run this morning. Got up, started 20 minutes earlier than normal, so I could get in about 7.5 miles. And
so what time does that wake up then?
Well, I woke up at the same time. I just got out the door more quickly. Woke up at 5, and instead of starting running around 5:30, I started running around 5:12.
Wow!
So in that 12 minutes,
what do you normally do? Like, if you have expendable time in that 5 to 5:30 window, why don't you just sleep during that time? Like, what do you normally do?
Well, I mean, normally I'm driving somewhere, like to a trail.
Okay.
And so today I just ran from the house.
Gotcha. Okay. Good. Well, that's nice. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Glad to hear that.
And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like I'm rebounding from last week. I was complaining a lot. Yeah. Yep. Coming out of that for sure.
All right. Well, that's a good thing. Good. Yeah. My workouts, they're not really changing. Just keeps being the same thing. Nothing really interesting about that right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Had a little white bean smoked paprika soup last night from Accidentally Vegan Italian Soups. Great book, by the way. It's cheap on Kindle, I think. When I got it was anyway. And it's just a bunch of simple soup recipes that are vegan as is, using whole foods, no fake meats, and they're always good. Good for a weeknight meal even.
I have one comment on the food front. This might surprise you, Matt, but apparently there's a point where I no longer want tacos.
Oh yeah, hey, it's
Yeah.
National Taco Day today, by the way.
Oh,
Wow,
it is.
big deal. Yeah. So you're
I
sick of tacos?
well, so we had all these leftovers. We had a taco bar for my daughter's birthday on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
No, Sunday, and we had all these leftovers. So Sunday for lunch, Sunday dinner, yesterday for lunch, or really most days I've had tacos twice
Right.
to get
Oh
through
my
this
gosh.
food.
Right.
And last night I had it and I was eating it and I was thinking, I just do not want another taco for a very long time, at least a week. So
Oh,
there you
gosh.
go. It is possible for me to eat too many
How
tacos.
many tacos do you think you eat in a typical week? Not counting this week. I know it's weird.
I probably have tacos twice,
So how many
and then
tacos? Do you eat?
maybe
How many
some
tacos?
leftover.
Number of tacos in a typical
Well,
week.
I mean, but it might be like often for leftovers, I'll have a taco bowl,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Okay,
and
but
with
how many
a
tacos?
couple
How
of
many regular tacos?
regular, just regular old
Taco,
taco.
yeah, a shell with a thing in it, or a corn
Uh,
tortilla with stuff in there.
4,
4 in
maybe
a
5.
week,
Yeah.
maybe 5. Okay. And what do you put in them? I was thinking about this yesterday. I was like, what does he put in the tacos? Oh, because we make tacos once a month, maybe, and we put
Uh-huh.
black beans and whatever in it. And I don't know what else. Actually, I had it. Erin's going to Trader Joe's this second as we speak. She's there, and I said, get some soy rizo so that we can vary the tacos a little bit when we have them
Uh-huh.
once a month. Make a little, more like the sofritas thing they have at Chipotle. But I
Yeah.
thought Doug eats all these tacos. What is he putting in them so that it's not the same thing every night? Like,
Sometimes black
what is it?
beans, sometimes refried beans, sometimes refried black beans.
It's all the same thing.
Uh,
It's all one flavor. Okay.
but like mushrooms, spinach, avocado, maybe some lettuce and tomato.
But always
Um,
one of those beans is the base main thing, and then you just got a
yeah,
bunch of different
yeah,
vegetables. And
uh-huh,
you vary the flavors. Like some night it's kind of green taco salsa, some night it's red.
definitely. Yep,
Changes
yep.
up.
I mean, I only have tacos once or twice a week,
Right.
right?
Right.
I mean, but yeah. Just vary it up. Sometimes I'll do some chorizo, some sort of like ground,
Mm-hmm.
plant meat or something like that. That's always yummy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Sometimes more like more fajita style, where you have long strips of veggies
Mm-hmm.
sauteed up.
To change the shape of the food.
Yes, it's the same food, just different shape.
Okay. All right, good. Well, this is what Taco Bell does. They've made a whole empire off of the
Exactly,
same philosophy.
exactly.
So yeah,
I just brought Taco Bell home.
I can't fault you for it as long as you don't get tired of the flavors. And I guess
No.
it's good to mix up variety in your diet, but you get that from your other foods.
Mhm.
Then it's simple, it's streamlined meal planning. I'll give you that much. So can't fault you for it. It is National Taco Day, so
Mhm.
we've given tacos a few minutes, which is good. I mean, there's more Taco Bell stuff. Ready to get into this weather report so we can jump right into
Let's
it.
do it. Let's
Segue
jump
in?
right into the taco to the taco news.
All right, here we go. To celebrate National Taco Day, October 4th, you hear that bell, you know what that sound means. That means we're talking about
Mhm.
Taco Bell, our favorite plant-based, vegan option, vegetarian option fast food restaurant. They have just announced that their wildly popular Taco Lovers Pass is back for a limited time. That means that yesterday and today, so not too late, you can still act on this today. You can go on their
Boy.
app, you can get a subscription for $10, and that subscription for the Taco Lovers Pass entitles you to a taco every day for 30 consecutive days. I don't know when you have to begin using it, but that comes out to about 30 cents a taco. 33
How
cents a
much?
taco.
How much is a taco? Like just a single taco?
Right. The math sort of breaks down here. It becomes not such a good deal because, I mean, it's not a bad deal, but you really got to eat the tacos a lot of days to make that worth it. Because I think a single taco is probably maybe $1.50. I'm not really sure. Now and then, when I go to Taco Bell, I'll usually get the crunch wrap with black beans in it, and then it's not quite enough food, but I don't want 2 crunch wraps, so I'll also get a black bean taco, sometimes even 2. And I think they're like $1.50 to add to the order. Maybe it's more expensive if you put stuff on there. And I wondered, could you put the new vegan nacho cheese on here, or would that be would that be an upcharge? That might make it a little more worth it because it'd be hard to just eat that same black bean taco every day for 30 consecutive days.
Yeah, and it's just one taco. I mean, it's just it's like you'd have to order something else, right? So you're
Right,
you're spending
a meal.
$10 to basically spend $5 a day at least on a couple tacos. And
Right. The only way to make your thing worth it is probably to go get a taco at least every 3 days, maybe every 3 or 4 days. And like you said, then you're also going to need to get a meal to make that worth it. So really the thing just kind of commits you to going to Taco Bell 10 times in the month or so. And then, as long as you're happily spending that money there, it's fine. But if you're thinking, man, Taco Bell again, I got to do this just to make it worth it, you're going to be losing money. But anyway, if you're excited, if you're going to really do it 30 consecutive days, and especially if it could be like a snack taco that you just have, you don't get anything else, that's pretty good value.
If I had a Taco Bell, like if I worked in an office with a Taco Bell around the corner or something like that, it'd be a good way to just kind of stretch your legs, grab a taco.
Right.
Sounds great. Their soft taco, your typical soft taco is $1.79 at Taco Bell. There's the spicy potato soft taco for $1. But it looks like you're just like basic ground beef taco is $1.79. I don't know if you replace that with.
I don't think it costs any more. I don't think it costs any more for that, or less.
Okay.
I think it's just a swap. Yeah, and then I don't know what kind of things you can put on it. Like you might be able to add potatoes into tacos for free. You can add potatoes into the Crunchwrap without an upcharge. So I don't know. You might be able to vary it a lot of ways. So anyway, if you're a big taco person, I mean, you'd have to be a huge taco person because you're a big one, Doug, and you're not that interested in this deal. So if someone's just a taco fanatic, go get your thing in the app today.
No, Taco Billy, if my local taco shop had this, they'd be all about it.
That'd be tough when those tacos probably cost $6 each.
Exactly.
All right, more Taco Bell good news. They have won the, I guess, annual contest for fastest drive-through restaurant in the country. There's one in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. It's called Taco Bell Defy, and it's like a special design, has 3 bays. The kitchen is above them, and there's some sort of elevator system that gets the food down there really fast. Their average time is 3 minutes to get I guess, from start to finish of that drive-through line. Assuming you're not waiting. I don't really know. I'm assuming, I guess if there's no cars in line, it's a 3-minute job, and that would therefore maybe mean that, I don't know. If it's flowing smoothly, it's always going to be 3 minutes. I don't really know, but that's what it. And then they also, their average time across all their restaurants, that came in at 4.6 minutes, which also wins the average, average contest. And that's the 3rd year in a row that they have done that. So I don't know. Kudos to Taco Bell. I don't know too much about the Taco Bell's practices when it comes to like the animal products, because if they were really bad with that stuff, it still would be kind of hard to go support them. I forget. I think there was some kind of bad news about that. I don't remember, but I don't know. I like a lot of what Taco Bell's doing. It's a good fast food restaurant, in my opinion.
I remember back this would have been like middle school, maybe. My first active activism was a boycott of Taco Bell because they were going through a big dispute with their tomato pickers.
Oh, wow. That's
pay for the tomato pickers.
Oh, okay. That's pretty advanced activism for a young age. I mean, it'd be easy to grab onto like Save the Whales or even veganism, but tomato picker wages, that's pretty serious.
I don't know I don't remember the details of where it came from, but yeah, I was into it. I wore a little button for a while.
Oh yeah? They made buttons for that? Or did you make it?
No, they made buttons for it. Yeah.
Yeah. You probably found it at one little booth somewhere and then got the button and then decided that was your cause.
Might have been, yeah. I really don't remember where it came from. I don't remember, but it was like a big deal, and they ended up. It was a big deal because they didn't have tomatoes for like a few months because the pickers were all on strike at 9 a.m.
Wow.
And so you went to Taco Bell and couldn't get a tomato.
Couldn't get fresco style probably very easily.
No, I guess not.
All right. Choose them on Instagram says my go-to is a bean burrito, no cheese, add potatoes and rice, and grill it. So that's probably not a Taco Bell order, although you could definitely do that at Taco Bell. You can get all those ingredients and they'll grill it for you too. I think it just has a different name, grilled stuffed burrito maybe. But I think they're talking about at home, and that sounds pretty good. I've done that in my day, done the grilled burrito bit at home. So you ever grill your burritos, Doug, when you make them?
I don't. No.
No.
I should.
Yeah.
Sealed
shut with it crispy. Yeah. All right. Moving on from tacos. Sorry. This is from PlantBased News. Earlier this week, UK Environment Secretary Teresa Coffey said basically that fake meat is astronaut food. She said fake meat might be okay for astronauts, but when people think of a meat feast, I want them to be thinking about great Welsh lamb or Aberdeen Angus beef or saddleback pork, not some pizza topping. And also said that she will never tell anyone they would absolutely not tell anyone they should not eat meat. And the produce apparently is the best food in the world, highest animal welfare standards, and that there are some zealots out there, green zealots, who think our farmers should stop rearing livestock and instead eat fake meat. In response, Robbie Lockey, co-founder of Plant-Based News, has written an open letter to her. And you can go to Plant-Based website or plantbasednews.com. No, .org, right? Plantbasednews.org. And read that if you'd like. So it just seems like
I should read that.
Yeah, you're being in the politics game.
I'm glad that our environment the UK's environment secretary is so sure of herself.
It's kind of crazy, yeah. Like, how can you be an environment person and not be a little bit sympathetic to the
right cause? Like, you don't, I mean, maybe not like you should never eat meat,
right,
but
right, exactly,
but acknowledge the fact that there are issues with the meat industry. It's crazy,
right? I mean, I'm sure there are people in charge of commerce and all that who they need to sort of step in and protect the different, the Welsh lamb, all these things, and that's fine. There probably should be some protection for these traditional things. Maybe not should be, depends on your viewpoint there with respect to veganism, but that's going to happen. You think the environment person would kind of just be focused on the environment and say this is sort of a problem, but not to be. Okay, PETA has put a new blog post up announcing that they are leaning away from the term plant-based, which is kind of interesting. They're passionate about promoting the word vegan. Instead, they think plant-based can be misleading, wishy-washy marketing term, ambiguous about the presence of animal-derived ingredients. It's a buzzword, trendy, people exploiting this term, and that's it. So they say go vegan. Vegan is their thing. I don't know if I agree with this or not. I kind of think plant-based, for a while, was a really good thing, I think. Definitely opened up people's eyes to this stuff. I'm not sure if it is now or not. There's this huge backlash, it seems. So I don't really know if I agree with this or not. But it's on display in their next piece here, which is what we talked about earlier with the multimedia. They've got a new video featuring.
Hold on. Well, I just want to say, so I think this is a good thing. I think that it's good that PETA is focusing on vegan, right? We need. We call ourselves a plant-based morning show. I use plant-based almost 99% of the time instead of vegan. But I think we need the vegan activist, right? And PETA is certainly the activist organization. So I got no problem with this. I think it's a good idea.
If everyone who was like PETA in their ways, and I do think PETA does some good things, they also do some things that I don't like, but you could argue are needed or important. If all those people and all those organizations used vegan, it actually would cleanse the term plant-based of some of that, right? It would be more of this wholesome thing, and vegan is left for the ideological part, which kind of makes sense when you think about the words. It just seems like that is what they're supposed to mean. So I think I'm okay with that as well. Okay, on to the next one. Legendary actor James Cromwell, says Veg News, is not backing down until Starbucks drops its vegan milk surcharge. They call him legendary. I've never heard of him. Maybe I heard of him in this show somewhere at some point earlier when I said his name. Apparently he was in Succession.
Yep.
Which, is that still being made, or is that done?
No, it ended this past year.
Okay. He was in that.
Brilliant show. One of the best.
Oh yeah. And is he a legendary actor?
I mean, I think he's done some stuff. That was a legendary show. He was an actor in a legendary show.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, legendary means not just like pretty good actor, famous actor, celebrity actor. Legendary means like remembered forever as one of the legends of acting. I think it's a stretch.
I don't know. So his movie titles are Babe.
Babe the Pig with John Goodman? Or The Babe with John Goodman?
Babe the Pig.
Babe the Pig, okay.
And Babe Pig in the City. Succession. The Green Mile. Apparently he's in Green Mile.
Green Mile. Never saw that too long.
The Longest Yard. What's Adam Sandler movie? iRobot.
Wait, Longest Yard is Adam Sandler? Oh, is there a remake? Yeah, it is Adam Sandler. 2005. That's a remake, right? Of the original Longest Yard. It must be. Yeah.
I don't know.
1974 was the original. Okay. What else?
Jurassic Park, Fallen Kingdom.
That's class. Oh, okay. Not that one.
No. I don't know. I mean, he's been in a lot of stuff, but
is he even an A-lister? Or is this a B-list?
I would call any of the main characters in Succession as an A-lister, in my opinion.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the landscape is different now. I guess you can be on a show, niche following, and it is niche. It's still that is niche. I think if it's on what's it on HBO.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, niche following. But that's how the world is now. A lot of niches. Anyway, he's got a new video done by PETA, and I noticed they use the word vegan. Can you cue this up for us, Doug, to watch?
You bet I can.
It's a new anti-Starbucks jab. Yeah, and we'll just let it play. No need to explain what it is.
All right, ready?
I'm ready. Do I need to do anything?
Starbucks cares. We care about the world turning into a giant burning hellscape.
Restart. Hold on.
I messed up. I don't need to do anything for the sound, right? You just play it and I just listen. Is that right?
That is correct. Yep.
All right, restart. Sorry, everyone.
Starbucks cares. We care about the world turning into a giant burning hellscape. And we care that you care that cow's milk production emits about 3 times more greenhouse gases than vegan milk. We care, but you care more. That's why we charge you up to 90 cents extra for our vegan milk. Because when you really care, like you do, it's a small price to pay. And it's good that you pay, care, because we also have other things to care about. Like the $1.6 million cash sign-on bonus for our new CEO. We care about profits. Confused? We're not. You just keep caring about saving the world, and we'll keep caring about our savings account. Because Starbucks cares about money. Heck, it's right there in our name. There you go. Drink that in. You take care now.
All right. What are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, for anyone listening, he's in a Starbucks apron. He's a barista. He's pouring drinks. The foam latte at the end, or the foam of the latte, has a dollar sign on it. But it's all the Starbucks imagery. They don't show the logo at the end. They show some, mock of the logo that says something about stop upcharging.
But it looks like he's actually in a Starbucks. Or they've done a really good job of recreating it with Starbucks stuff, bags of Starbucks coffee. It's possible they've
had to recreate it, right?
I don't know. It's
like an Ocean's 11 deal.
Adjusted those things a little bit. Maybe it's misspelled or something like that, and you can't really tell from the video.
Yeah, but can you? I didn't even know you could do this sort of thing. Can you just say? Can you just mock a company, say their name, use their logo? I don't know if they use logo or not, and when it's smaller, but it looks just like they're in Starbucks, like you said.
I think if it's parody, maybe I don't know.
But can you say things that are borderline not factual? I think that everything there was factual, but they, saying Starbucks cares only about their money.
Yeah.
That's not a fact. It's an opinion. So I don't really know anything about these kind of rules.
I don't either. But I thought it was clever. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, it's definitely not like a cringeworthy Oatly ad. It's like you read it and you understand. You watch it, understand it. You feel like you get the message. I don't know. I guess this skeptic or whatever cynic in me wants to say that's that's not what they care about. They care about making money. They're a corporation, and they're passing on if you do care about these causes, then you pay more, which we do in a lot of other places too. We pay more for the vegan option of something. It just might be more expensive, and so they're just passing that on. But obviously, everyone hates the oat milk or the plant milk upcharge, and I do understand why. It's annoying that stuff costs more when it probably doesn't cost them more. Maybe it does cost them a lot more. I don't know how much, but it seems like they're profiting on how much more it costs, right?
Definitely.
It'd be nice if they could sort of minimize that upcharge at least. If it does cost them more, pass that along, sure, but keep it within reason. I don't know that, but it's fine. I like the ad. It's not a bad ad at all.
I like it too, and I like the pressure. I like the pressure on Starbucks. But
they keep saying vegan in the thing. You notice that? They keep saying the vegan milks, and that jumped out at me. And then I realized that we had just talked about the other thing. When I watched it earlier today, and it just sounded a little unnatural to hear vegan in that context. You're just used to hearing plant-based milks. As soon as vegan gets said, it sounds like an activism kind of thing, versus like practical, logical argument. Like, let's be fair. So I don't know. It's just strange. I don't dislike the use of vegan there. It's just noticeable to me. So there you go. There's your multimedia minute from the Plant-Based Morning Show. And I think that's not the end. Our weather report continues here. We got more good stuff. This is sort of interesting from Veg News. It's a new study in the research journal, the BMJ. And basically what they did was they took two groups of people over 24-year period. Sorry, it's not two groups. A large group of people, 136,000 men and women under age 65 over 24 years. And what they were looking at is what exactly they ate versus how much weight they gained. On average, the group gained 19.4 pounds in the 24-year period, which is a lot of weight to just like gradually add without, being I don't think they picked them because they're a high risk weight gain group. They're just what people do as they get older, eating the way that we do in the US. So anyway, they gained that weight and they looked at what they ate and how that correlated. The headline, as Veg News spun it, is that if you eat more whole grains and fruit, you have less weight gain than average. But that's not that those things help you lose weight. I guess it's compared to other types of, like if you're eating those, it displaces more refined carbohydrates typically. And those things would cause more weight gain. So they are better than those things, which we sort of already knew or suspected. So it's not shocking, but they gave a few numbers here that I thought were interesting. A 100-gram daily increase in starch or added sugar corresponded to 3.3 pound and 2 pound greater weight gain over a 4-year period, respectively. A 10-gram increase in fiber intake was linked to a 1.8 pound reduction in weight gain. I'm not sure why they're doing a 4-year period instead of the 24 years that the study was. But then here's kind of the punchline here. Carbohydrate intake from whole grains resulted in 0.9 pounds less weight gain per 100 grams per day increase. 100 grams of carbohydrates per day only results in 1 pound less weight gain. I don't know if that's over 19 years or 4 years or 24 years. I mean, if it's whole grains. Fruit, 3.5 pounds less weight gain per 100 grams. So a lot more bang for your buck in terms of eating fruit than eating whole grains. But both are better, of course, than the refined carbohydrates. And non-starchy vegetables like broccoli, carrots, spinach, 6.6 pounds less weight gain per 100 grams per day increase. So that's double almost what fruit was. So there's your big winner. Eat more non-starchy vegetables if you want to gain less weight in middle age. And then refined grains, 1.8 pounds more weight gain per 100 grams per day increase. Starchy vegetables like peas, corn, and potatoes ended up at 5.7 pounds more weight gain per 100 grams per day increase. These are foods that I think of as health foods. Certainly peas, they're legumes, they're beans.
Yeah, right.
So I'd like to know where the other beans ended up. I should look more closely at the study. But that's a lot of weight gain. That's more than the refined carbohydrate did. So I don't know what to think about that.
So skip the peas and potatoes.
Yes, no. And what was the other one? Corn.
Corn.
Tortillas, Doug. You got to watch out for those.
And corn chips.
You switch to a whole grain tortilla. See what? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if starchy vegetable like corn. I mean, the corn's also a whole grain. I think of when you eat it. So I don't know which category where that belongs. Anyway, but I mean, nothing shocking there, but interesting to see those numbers. And finally, Conscious Foods, which is a plant-based seafood brand, has announced that their ready-to-eat sushi rolls are now have launched in Whole Foods Market sushi venues throughout the U.S. The Pure California and the spicy snow crab rolls are two recipes created by Whole Foods chefs that feature Conscious Foods. Apparently, they've already got plenty of stuff in the frozen section, which I don't remember seeing that. I guess I don't know the frozen section. I don't go to Whole Foods that much. But I just can't. I've never gotten this. I mean, I probably, since we've been talking about it, I've probably been to the Whole Foods sushi area 4 times, and I've never seen plant-based sushi there. I would definitely get it just to try, but I never see it.
Well, maybe they're just now rolling it out nationwide.
I think it was a different brand or something was there. Maybe they've been testing different ones, and I don't know now. But I don't know. I'd like to just try it.
Yeah.
I don't know if people will go for this though. Like, if you have a meat substitute, then you get the flexitarian, omnivore.
Excuse me.
Bless you. who's kind of conscious and concerned and doesn't want to eat, maybe cares about animal welfare and they value cows more than they do fish. Maybe they know about the environmental impact and they think I'm going to switch this beef for some better alternative. I don't know. People who eat seafood, I think, typically think seafood is healthy, and also typically think fish don't have feelings.
Yeah.
So
I mean, what about the like heavy metal stuff?
Right. There is that. So if you're a heavy metal aware person and you really want the taste of sushi and fish, you might opt for this. Similarly, if you're an environmental person, people know about fish and sustainability and oceans and all that. I think people are aware of that. So if you're big time into that, you might choose this. But it just seems like this is going to be hard to get people to, even though on the surface, it almost seems like more like you're going to get more kind of conscious people who are eating sushi to begin with. So I don't know. Curious to see how that works out.
I don't know. I don't know if Whole Foods does any like combo roll boxes or anything like that. But I could see like a vegan box that had a avocado roll and then
that could be good, right? Then the person who just says I'm going to skip the meat today, they go for that. They still get a little bit of a meat taste. They also get some vegetables. I mean, and I'd be more interested actually in that box than a whole big roll of the vegan fish. All right. On to our feature story, unless we got any sort of comment stuff here.
Mr. Jeffrey has an interesting comment about the Starbucks. He says, I do think they care about money, but I don't think they are choosing to upcharge for that reason. The milks cost nearly double of dairy milk. And that said, the amount that they make on every cup is wild. I didn't realize it was that much more expensive, but sure enough, I Googled it. And according to Bon Appetit, whole milk costs whole dairy milk costs 2 cents per ounce. From Walmart, almond milk costs 4 cents per ounce, and oat milk was 6 cents per ounce.
Wow,
so that's a pretty big expense.
Yeah, that is a big expense. It doesn't seem like it would come out to 90 cents per cup if you're pouring a little bit in there. So you'd think they could lower that and still cover their costs. But then there's also extra costs. I'm sure the more milk options they have, the more space is dedicated to it, the more complicated the process of making the drinks is, the more mistakes happen. So certainly it's costly to add these things. I'm not denying that at all. Is this getting you to change your tune a little bit, Doug, about Starbucks?
No.
You're going to go to the Black Mountain one?
No, because my local coffee shop doesn't upcharge me for oat milk.
Yeah, I mean that's a good positioning at least, right? Even if from a business sense, that's one way to get people to leave Starbucks. If you're a small independent company, just eat the extra cost there, and you have an edge on Starbucks in that case.
Yes, absolutely. So Leslie, also just want to before we move on, give her a shout out. She's done. She did her 13 miles, 82 degrees, 1 billion% humidity. It's 10:30. Is 10:30 too early for a beer? No.
Not if you've done a 13-mile run. I'd say you have earned that right. I almost had a beer. I have some Oktoberfest beers in the fridge that I'm trying not to drink on weekdays. It's my new thing. And I almost had one yesterday, but I didn't. Skipped it, but it just really seemed really good. All right. Yeah, that's good. All right, on to the article of the day. Kind of an ethical thing here, maybe a little logic involved. I don't know. It's from plantbasednews.org. Are avocados really not vegan? The truth behind the claim. I may have gotten wind of this before. I don't really know. Certainly, you hear the figs thing now and then because bees crawl into the figs, and I guess maybe they lay eggs in there and then they die, or you eat the egg. I don't really know what the details are, but that happens even when they're in nature. I think because we had a fig tree and that happened, that the bees would go in it. And I don't remember eating bees or noticing we were eating bees, but you know what happens. So I think that's your answer on that one. What happens here, and apparently it also happens with almonds and melons, because Piers Morgan, I think it was Piers Morgan, not someone else, but I could be wrong. No, it's host Sandy Toksvig. He says that actually I don't know if that's a he or not. Said strict vegans could not eat foods including avocados, almonds, and melons for the same reason they can't eat honey, because it exploits bees. And then Piers Morgan had a similar thing saying that that avocados kill billions of bees every year. And it turns out they are not wrong about those things. I didn't know about this at all, but migratory beekeeping is a big thing that certainly happens with avocados, but it also happens with other vegetables, where they go and beekeepers come and visit, whatever it's called, the orchards or the fields or whatever, and they put the bees in trucks. They put the hives into trucks and they move them. This one says California's almond orchards are one of the main stops for more than 1,500 beekeepers and 31 billion honeybees each year. So they move these bees all around. So you have to acknowledge that there is animal exploitation going there. If you avoid honey, then that to me isn't different on that count, at least as far as how much they are exploited. But then it goes on to say, this is from Plant-Based News' perspective, that many other crops in the U.S. or so many other crops in the U.S. also depend on migratory bees that without them, the country would not be able to produce a third of all of its crops. So that's a huge, I just had no idea that was something.
I didn't either. I had no idea about this.
Yeah. So we learned something today. Apparently it's not just plant foods consumed by humans that depend on the bees. It's also animal crops like alfalfa. And so we say a third of all the crops. I wonder how many of those crops, that third of crops, is mostly going to animals versus how much it's going to people as produce. So if I could get that figure, then I'd have be able to decide here, be able to render an opinion. So anyway,
does it make you think twice about eating avocados?
It doesn't make me think twice about it. I guess I'm not so committed to the insect side of veganism. I'm committed to not causing suffering with my eating. And I guess in my head, I don't think the suffering there is like so much that it's a problem. Certainly many, many vegans would disagree with me. I do avoid honey. If I get it on accident, I don't throw it away or something, but I try not to buy honey. But no, I don't know. It just doesn't move me and say, I need to stop that. Their argument. What about you, Doug? First of all, and then I'll get into Plant-Based News' argument.
I mean, it makes me think. I don't think it'll change any habits, but it I mean, I don't like the idea of billions of bees dying.
Right. No, I don't either.
Get me my avocados and almond milk.
So Plant-Based News' argument, and this is, I don't know anything about these ethical arguments. I'm not well-versed at all in this stuff. I understand the logic and things a little bit, but so like their argument is basically, if you were to say you're going to avoid avocados for this reason, then you're also going to avoid, melons and almonds, which are listed there, but also all these other crops that apparently are all the time. And they mentioned broccoli. Let me find really quickly where they did that. They mentioned broccoli, cherries, and cucumbers that are also big time migratory beekeeping. So it's a weird argument. I think it's been done by vegans in lots of other situations as well. But it basically says like, okay, yes, we're wrong about that, but then we're also wrong about this and this and this and this and this, all these other things, and therefore it's not practical to stop that, right? So we just have to include those things. So it's almost like the more widespread this problem is, the more we are absolved from any sort of hypocrisy about eating it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know that I agree with that really. Like I think
with that argument?
Yeah, because I mean, you could say the same thing about. I mean, that's the reason why we don't eat animal products, right? And so, I mean, I understand the argument of, animals are involved in the production of all kinds of things. They talk about manure in the article, and for crops and that kind of thing. Animals are involved in that. Animals historically have been involved in all sorts of agriculture and, tilling the farm and all that stuff. Right. And so to think that like there's no animal that it's a part, obviously bees have to be a part of the pollination of all of our crops. Like, I guess it's the exploitation of the animals. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right. So, I mean, a solution here, if you want to still enjoy avocados and all these other things, would be get your food from small farms and figure out where you're getting it. And I'm sure it's pretty hard with avocados. I don't know where they grow, but it seems not that easy to do, to be choosy about where you get your avocados. But that is a solution, right? You can do that stuff. You could still know that you are vegan and you're getting stuff that's not involving any bees making these crops. Plant-Based News here now appeals to the common vegan society definition, which is always brought up in these instances. That definition of veganism is that veganism is a philosophy and a way of living which seeks to exclude, as far as is possible and practicable, all forms of exploitation of and cruelty to animals for food, clothing, and any other purpose, et cetera, et cetera. So that argument's always brought up when people say, well, your car is not vegan and this other stuff that you depend on, you use all the time. is not vegan. And people say, well, you know what? It's about as far as possible and practicable. So if this was just avocados, and that's when the migratory beekeeping got used, then without a doubt, I would say, if you want to call yourself vegan and you're a vegan who avoids honey because you think the insects are included there, and I certainly understand, that perspective, then yeah, you shouldn't eat avocados because it's not that hard. It's not impractical to stop eating avocados. It's pretty easy, right? You stopped eating chicken, you stopped eating fish, you can add avocado to that and you'll be all right. But then when you add all these other things, then to me, it starts to be this weird gray area, right? Like I'm not going to avoid all these different foods. So I'm resorting to this argument that I think is that strange one. I don't know, that like the more we're wrong, the more we're hypocritical here, the more right we become, because it's just impossible and not practical to do that.
Yeah. So here's the argument I would have made had I written the article, and I just saw that Mr. Jeffrey beat me to it, which is a bummer because I wanted to make it first. but that the problem is like, why are we having to migrate bees? Why do we have to ship bees around in order to do it? That used to not be the case, right? But bees are dying off, and I just Googled it to make sure that I was right on the according to Greenpeace, the reason bees are dying are because of pesticides, drought, habitat destruction, nutrition deficiency, air pollution, and global warming. And I think that by choosing a plant-based diet, we are helping with a lot of those things, with the with the droughts, with the air pollution, with the global warming. Maybe not habitat destruction, and not probably not pesticides, but I think that like by choosing we need to address the bigger problem, which is why bees are dying off and why we're having such a bee problem in both in the United States and elsewhere, or all over the world, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think that eating a plant-based diet helps with that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, good point. Hard to fix a huge systemic issue like that, but it's a good point. At the end here, they say that this is a bad faith argument on the part of Piers Morgan and the other person. They said consuming animal products causes direct harm to billions of animals a year. And they're trying to catch out vegans with this idea that we are indirectly harming them by the plants that we eat. And they're basically saying that if this sort of thing, here's a last sentence. Blaming vegans for killing bees so they can enjoy avocado on toast makes no mathematical sense. In other words, the argument is made in bad faith. They're saying this is a tiny thing, a tiny amount of harm we're doing by eating these foods. Therefore, it's a bad faith argument because we're doing a lot of good with the other stuff we're doing. So to try to catch us out with this, I'm not really buying that one. I mean, there's a lot about veganism that to me is I don't know how much difference one person makes is tiny anyway. So I just don't. I don't know. I'm not buying this one so much. I don't know because this whole thing's not about how much change we can make and what utilitarian ethics here. Right. It's about veganism and being a person who doesn't eat animal products, doesn't harm animals in your eating. So it kind of doesn't matter if we're talking about this specific thing, to me, that it's a small impact.
I think that's right. Yeah, I agree.
So I don't know. It's tricky. I mean, this happens, right? This is hard to do. I wouldn't expect any vegan to stop eating all these crops by any means.
No. I mean, I love avocados, man.
But here's the thing. If we knew it was avocados, melons, and the other thing, what was it? Almonds. And those were like, if we knew those
only
were
three things,
10 or 50 times the amount of migratory beekeeping happened for those crops specifically, then I'd say we should add those to honey as things vegans avoid. And I would do it. I'd be all right with that. But I don't know how. Maybe we can find that out. Maybe I'm gonna cut out melons out of my diet. All those melons I eat, I'm gonna stop doing it.
How often do you eat an avocado?
Not very much. I had one like 2 days ago, but I probably eat avocado once a month, like my taco frequency.
Whoa, really?
Mm-hmm. I'm not big on avocado toast. Just not an avocado guy.
We go through probably 3 to 4 avocados a week.
Yeah,
in the family. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We might do that. I don't personally, but the kids, Aaron, they have avocado toast sometimes. All right. I'm gonna look up some math on migratory beekeeping, see if we can get some numbers.
All right, report back tomorrow. Did you watch The Bachelor last night?
No, I didn't. Of course, I didn't watch the Golden Bachelor last night. I did see that you can get it on abc.com. It's all there. I can go right to the website, stream 42 minutes of Golden Bachelor.
42 minutes.
43 minutes and 40 seconds.
Man.
And I'm going to do that at some point. But no, yesterday was not the day for that. Today will not be the day for that either. But at some point, I'm going to watch a little bit of that.
Okay.
When does it come out? Thursday night? I'll have to do it by then. That's today.
Yeah, I think it's Thursday night.
So today. It's not going to happen today. Maybe tomorrow I'll do a little marathon.
Ooh,
I could. No kid has practice tomorrow. That's one night that could actually happen.
A little family bachelor marathon.
There's no way I could sit there for an hour and a half and watch two of those things. Not possible for me to do that.
What if you're playing your game?
If I was doing that and just listening to it, that's probably the way I'd most likely would be able to consume that show. So maybe that's what I'll try to do. All right. Well, thanks everyone for your contributions to the show today. Thanks for attending as always. Would not be really much fun if it was just me and you here, Doug. So it's great to have people.
Thanks for the. Glad you like spending time with me so much.
I do, but I mean, we'd run out of stuff to talk about. People add variety to the conversation.
Absolutely. All
right. We'll be back tomorrow for Thursday, last day of this show's week, and hope everyone has a good hump day until then. National Taco Day. Don't forget to get tacos. So you're not doing tacos tonight, then, Doug.
I'm going to avoid the tacos at all costs.
All right. Sounds good.
Right.
Everyone else, hope you have a taco for Doug. Think of Doug while you do it.
See ya.
Bye.